right, we are all set. Day 49 of the year of streaming and learning to code. Can't believe it. All right, one more day away from day 50. Not that that matters. I'm actually looking forward to day 65 because then there will be 300 days and less from then on. So 50 is cool. 50 is fun. 49 is not important. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we are in fact getting there. Speaking of 50-ish, we are just past 50%, 52% of the way through Python. Right? Okay. We finished Student Becomes the Teacher yesterday. That was somewhat painful, not completely terrible. Now we've got Section 7, Lists and Functions. Battleship hopefully will be enjoyable, but in the meantime we get through this nonsense. So, listen functions, little kitty. You ready? High five? No? Alright, you're just gonna keep looking at yourself. Good. Let's do this. Side note, before we totally dive into this, anyone who likes music, if you're into the whole Scott Bradley's postmodern jukebox thing, I went and saw them live last night in Costa Mesa. It was super awesome. I recorded the entire concert, so that's in the music playlist on my YouTube channel. So yeah, you should check that out. BDX Inc. or BDX Music. You'll find it. It's on there. Alright, back to Python. List accessing. How many sections do we have? 19, 37, 42. 18 sections. 18 sections of potential fun, potential sorrow. No one knows. List accessing. The exercise goes over just pulling information from a list, which we've covered in a previous section. Please add the code to print out the second element in the list. Add your code. I do not remember. Print. Print the second element, which would be 3. No, it's not 3. It starts counting from 0. But 0, item number 1, or item number 0 is 1. So we need item number 1, which is really item number 2, which would give us 3, and 2. Because it cuts off at 2, which is really the third item, which means it should cut off 5. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Damn! Oh good, they have a hint. Remember that elements list? See, I was babbling about zeros. Oh, I've got the wrong bit? Is that what's going down? Remember that elements in a list start from index 0 and they're accessed in the form x bracket or brace. I really got to learn the difference between brackets and braces. Curly braces, curly brackets, curly braces. I'm pretty sure these are brackets. Curly bracket where, not curly bracket, son of a... Where x is the name of the list and n is the index in that list you're trying to access. X is the name of the list, n is the index. Okay, x is the name of the list, print n, bracket life. That seems slightly better. Did you print the second element of the list? Remember, the list starts indexing from 0. That's why we did 1 to print 3. Please add the code to print out the second element in the list. Look at that. Printed out 3. What's the deal, yo? What it is? Does it just want... It doesn't want the set? We were slicing. That's the issue. It didn't want us to slice it. It only wanted just that exact item. So, I'm the big dumb idiot, but we made it through section 1. Section 2. Didn't even read it. I saw that I could click the button and I just went for it. That's where I'm at right now. List element modification. You've already learned how to modify elements of a list in previous sections. This exercise is just a recap of that. Wonder why they're recapping so much. On line 3, multiply the second element of the n list by 5. Do your multiplication here. Overwrite the second element with that result. Make sure to print the result when you are done. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's take a look at their hint anyways. Here's an item in a list in Python. Can be set to a value using the form v, where x is the name of the list, n is the index, and the n is the index in the array, and v is the value you want to set. Oh, this is not going to be pretty. All right, so we're going to take their little template. X is actually n, the value is actually 1, and we want it to replace 3. And then what do we print? Print n? That's right, we don't have to overwrite the second element with that result. We're just going to hit save and submit. Fingers crossed. Did you remember to multiply the second element in the list by 5? I don't think I did. On line 3, multiply the second element of the n list by 5. That's the second. Okay, multiply by 5. Right? There we go. That noise equals 3. Slide. Alright. Your code looks a bit off. Check the hint if you need help. Your code through the following error. Can't assign, blah, blah, blah. That's interesting. N1 is 3 times 5. What if instead of replacing actually 3, what if we do N1 again? No, it also hates that idea. That was a dumb idea on my part. We're going to check the forum. List element modification. I have what I believe to be the correct code. Don't really see anything wrong with. It's likely the structure sensitivity, but I'd like to make sure and find out what the error actually is. Here's my code, blah, 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 blah. You should print the whole list. It's not just the item at index 1. Yes, so mine has that. Maybe I need to reverse mine? We can reverse mine. We can be that guy. We can be that guy. Copy. Interesting. So I wonder why. So what's the difference? Why, I mean, equal sign's an equal sign, whether the equation's happening on the left side or the right side. So n1 equals n1 times 5 versus n1 times 5 equals n1, which is what we had before. I'm not sure the difference. Obviously, it has to do with how the code is reading it. The code editor is processing it, but I don't know mathematically why that didn't work the first time. But that's just me, right? Right? After all, it's only day 49. So, section 3, appending to a list. Here, we'll quickly recap how to append elements to the end of a list. I think they're going to recap everything regarding lists and functions, prepping for the battleship activity. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Not going to lie. Not going to lie. Here we quickly recap how to append blah elements to the end of a list, append the number 4 to the end of the list, and stuck, get a hint, the function to append to the end of a list is x append item. So it would be n dot append blah 4, where x is the name of the blah and item is the name of the do. Good, good, good. So we're going to do n dot append, right? Right? She knows what I'm talking about. And 4? Sure, why not? That doesn't seem offensive. There we go. Start next lesson. Removing elements from lists. This exercise will expand on ways to remove items from a list. You actually have a few options. For a list called n.popIndex will remove the item at the index from the list and return it to you. n1, 3, 5, npop1 returns 3, the item at index 1, print n, prints 1 through 1 and 5. Okay. n.remove will remove the actual item if it finds it. n.remove 1 removes 1 from the list, not the item at index 1. Print n, it removed the actual item that represented 1 from the list, and it prints out 3 and 5. Del n1 is like .pop in that it will remove the item at the given index, but won't return it. So del n1 doesn't return anything, print n, and it kills off 1 through 3, just leaving 1 and 5. Although, yeah, good, right? Impressive, little cat. No, you're sleeping? Okay, you stay there. I'll stay here. Instructions. Let's open up hint to bump the instructions up a little. There we go. Remove the first item from the list n using either .pop, .remove, or del. That's it. One way of doing this would be n.0 or n.pop0, where x is the list, index is the item you want to pop off the list. If no index is given, it removes the last item from the list. Can you believe it? Okay. So it returns 3. And index truthishly, kinda wanna just do del. Remove the first item in the list here. We're gonna do... We'll type it out. We'll type it out. Del N. Del Taco. 0. Submit. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Congratulations, you finished this section. Section 4, Dunsies. 5, changing the functionality of a function. In this exercise, you'll just be making a minor change to a function to change what that function does. Instructions. Change the function so the given argument is multiplied by 3 and returned. I haven't been listening or paying attention for the last, 40 seconds. What? In this exercise, you will just be making a minor change to a function to change what the function does. Okay, we have our function, line 3 and on. We're going to make a minor modification. Instruction. Change the function so the given argument is multiplied by 3 and returned. Define my function x. Return x plus 3. My function x. So we're just going to do x times 3. Is that what everyone else is feeling? We want to change the plus to not minus, multiplication. The m's threw me off. It's a very low effort endeavor over here. This is a Saturday afternoon, 5:20. This is like last week. Was it last weekend when we were doing math? Yeah. Again, this is how I'm spending my free time, my fun time. This is living the dream, all right? Math on a Saturday, willingly. Not cool. A little cool. If you're into it, it's fun. I'm figuring out if I'm into it or not. Although 49 days of consecutively doing this says otherwise, so, there's probably some enjoyment. Moving on, save and submit. 15, in your face, little cat. Yeah? No? She's still passed out. God, she is a napper from way back. Next lesson. More than one argument. Typical. Not going to say anything. All right. This exercise is to recap how to use more than one argument in a function. Define a function called add function that has 2 parameters, x and y, and adds them together. Something about something? This is an exercise to recap. Uses more than one argument in a function. Okay. Define a function called add function that has 2 parameters, x and y, and adds them together. Blah, 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 blah. Good. Check out the hint. A function is defined as follows. Define my function, argument 1, comma 2, comma, etc. Function body goes here. Add function here. Oh, add function here. Nice. Well, we're going to copy that bit. Define add function. Check this. Parentheses. All about the parentheses. All about the base. No. All right. X and Y. Wrong. X comma Y. Did they have a space? They do have a space in the example from the hint. And, no, not X and Y, you slimy, ungrateful, blind. It was M and N. There we go. There we go. Is that it? No. Now we add them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. M plus n? Are we returning m plus n? Or what now? Define a function called blah, has two parameters, adds them together. It's either m plus n or return m plus n. We're going to try m plus n first. See how that goes. Save and submit. Wrong. Now, could be my syntax. Oh, I'm missing a colon. I don't know if that needs a colon. We're going to try again. Returned. Yep, typical. Add a function. 18, negative 12, return none. Did you remember to return the results? Right? Stupid console error machine always nagging at us. Ta-da! 18. Beautiful. Beautiful. Section 7. Strings in functions. This is a basic recap on using strings in functions. Instructions. Write a function called string function that takes in a string's argument. So many letters. Damn you. Write a function called string function that takes in a string argument, s, and then returns that argument concatenated. It's back from like a week or more ago. Concatenated. Damn you. With the word world. Don't add space before world. Son of a bitch, it threw off our whole processing of the instructions. Let's look at the hint. String concatenation uses the plus symbol. Print hello plus world prints hello world. Lovely. No spaces. Keep that in mind. You want a space, you gotta add them. Alright. We'll do it bit by bit. Hello, write your function here. Print string function n. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't. Alright, write a function. Define string define string function that takes the argument s colon. Colons are good to have. Colons are important. Everybody has one. That takes the string argument s colon returns the concatenated returns that argument concatenated with the word world. Don't add a space before world. I know I need return. It's the world bit. Do I just do plus world? Right now this is what I'm visualizing. Right here. World. That's it. That's my best guess. Your code looks a bit off. Check the console window for errors. Python. Trace back. Line 7. Print string function n. Do we do... Oh, we do n plus world. Haha. Gotcha. Right? Right? Try that. Son of a... String function Wayne's returned hello world instead of Wayne's world. Who the f is Wayne? Not in the sense of Wayne's World, I get that. That reference makes more sense than where are they getting Wayne in this nightmare? Oh, hey! Concatenate means to link. We've got live bodies. Narsel, what's up? Concatenate means to link things together in a chain or series. If you wanted a precise dictionary, well, yes, thank you. I've just been using the definition by, what is it? Example? Association? I just know that whenever I see that word that I get frustrated because it means there's coding issues that I'm not going to be able to solve easily. Concatenate is a synonym for confusion in my world. Alright, something about Wayne. See, we're going to run the thing again. Maybe I can pinpoint it. String function Wayne's returned hello world instead of Wayne's world. Write a function called string function that takes in the string argument s, which we got, define string function s, and then returns that argument concatenated with the word world. Don't add a space. We're returning. I took n from hello, but apparently we need Wayne somewhere. So I was doing n plus that. You've made a simple typo mistake, it looks like. Oh god, I did. I'm good at those. Hello world. God, I wish I was better at reading. Son of a... Might as well have little kitty be typing this out. Define string function s. Couldn't have messed up s. That's a single letter. Return n plus world. Is it world? World spelled correctly. I mean, hell, I think I even pulled it from here. You know what? The other thing? Do the single quotes matter versus double quotes? You see that? You see that? They've got double quotes in this nonsense, and up here. I'm going to try double quotes just because. Just because. You see, I had single quotes, though, because they got single quotes here. Yeah, but there's a difference over here and here. I doubt that's going to solve my problems. It's still giving me beef. The single quotes don't matter most of the time. Ah, good to know. Okay, so quotes are quotes. Mostly. Take it with a grain of salt. Write a function called string theory. You know what? Screw it. We'll check strings in functions. Let's see what the other people got. The other fools out there. The forum of confusion and lost souls. Printing out using strings and I don't even remember what I was in. I just looked at strings and functions. Just use single quotes until you need double quotes. Oh, in my opinion. I can live with that. I like that. That sounds easy. I could be that guy. Strings and functions. Locked and has a check mark. I don't know if that means anything, but usually I find answers in ones like that. Hello n plus world. Are you telling me because I put spaces between n and plus? I thought they were talking about no spaces within the quotes. Oh my god. I'm not saying I want to jump out the window, but if this works... Okay, thank God. One common time you'd need double quotes is if your string contained a single quote. Yes, okay, using them to differentiate. Kind of like the different types of brackets. Parentheses, brackets versus braces. Double and single. Gotcha. Not a typo like you're thinking, I'll explain in a second. Oh. The coding thing. You type, I'll keep looking. When I run the code, the console prints hello world, as it should, but then it gives me an error that says, oops, try again, string function Wayne's returned hello world instead of Wayne's world. Ioniton, post number 2. Think about why it would use Wayne's instead of hello, and then look at your code and see if you're doing that. Your function, as described in the instructions, is supposed to concatenate the argument and world and return the result. If your function ignores the argument given to it, then it will not be able to do so. People like that answer, but I don't really get it. Thank you, I got it. Now it passed. It concatenated the variable instead of the argument. Oh. And you said the problem is that you've made a function that takes an input which refers to S, but you aren't using S. Okay, and that's just what this guy had his epiphany. Okay. Ta-da. Look at that. You saved the day. You salty dog. Alright. You're so helpful. Section 7. Done. Next, section 8. Passing a list to a function. You pass a list to a function the same way you pass any other argument to a function. Click Save and Submit code to see that using a list... Oh, son of a bitch. Click Save and Submit code to see that using a list as an argument in a function is essentially the same thing as using just a number or string. Okay. And before we pull the trigger button, define list function x, it will return x. N is 357, list function n. Alright, let's see what happens when we do this. Hold on. The problem is that okay. That was the last one, and then that's like if you had a math function that was like fn 2 plus 5. Ah, gotcha, yes, referring to the last section. Good. Save and submit. 3, 5, 7. Nothing too crazy going on there. Section 9. Using an element from a list in a function. Passing a list to a function will store it in an argument, just like with a string or a number. Define first items, print items, 0. Numbers, 279, first item, numbers. Alright, let's see what they have to say for this above. In the example above, we define a function called first item. It is one argument called items, blah. 2. Inside the function, we print out the items stored at index 0 of items. So we're printing out the items stored at 0 for items. After the function, we create a new list called numbers. New list, numbers here, blah, 279. Finally, we call the first item function with numbers as its argument, which prints out 2. So wait, what's happening with 4? Finally, we call the first item. So this is just a new thing. Separate from this item and separate from numbers. Finally, we call first item function. Oh, this is its own function. The first item function, okay? With numbers as its argument, which is referring to this guy, which prints out 2. And I remember that from one of the past sections. If you just drop in, what is it? A list? Yeah, numbers is a list, right? Or is it a function? Yeah, list. New list called numbers. If you just throw in the name of a list, I know this is obvious, but I learned it just days ago, then it will throw in the first indexed item, if you will. So that's why the 2's there. Cool. All right. With that said, now that we've got a general grasp of what's going on, instructions. Change line 2, change line 2 so that list function returns only the items stored in index 1 of X, rather than the entire X list. Oh. Wait, okay. Hold on. Now I'm confused. I feel like this is the exact same thing, but for some reason I'm still confused. Change line 2 so that list function returns only the items stored in index 1 of X, rather than the entire list. Well, this is the list N. We're shooting for the list X. Don't mind me. I'm gonna hit save and submit. I want to see what comes up. So list function 56688 returned 56688 instead of 6. Okay. So index 1 is really the second item, which is 6, and that's what we need. So that means X. Holy shit, I got it. Little kitty. If you were awake, you would be shocked. I mean, you probably wouldn't be that shocked, but I got it. Ha! 1. Okay, start next lesson. Just a second. Hold the phone. All right. Back into action. Let me double check. Yeah, right? Mic good, webcam, we're alive. The cat's somewhere. Go time. Okay, so, alright, when you define a function, the parameters in its signature are abstract like in math. You can say fn equals n times n2, and then define a variable a equals 10, and then if you do fa, you'll know that means 10 times 10 divided by 2, which is 50. I take it that's in regards to this, or just a general example that's very thorough. But noted. Okay. Defining functions. We're going to keep that in mind for this section. Alright. Section 10. Modifying an element of a list in a function. Modifying an element in a list in a function is the same as if you were just modifying an element of a list outside of a function. Define double first n. n0 equals n0 times 2. Numbers equal 1, 2, 3, 4. Double first, numbers, print numbers. We created a list called numbers, blah. We use the double first function to modify that list, double first, and 0, which would be this guy. 1 is n0 times 2, so 1 times 2 means this number now becomes 2. So it would really be 2, 2, 3, 4. Moving on. Finally, we print out exactly that, 2, 2, 3, 4. When we pass a list to a function and modify that list, like in the double first function above, we end up modifying the original list. Change list function so that add 3 to the index, add 3 to the item at index 1 of the list. My mind's blanking out. Store the result back in index 1 and return the list. Good, good, good. And now you were just a bit confused that x wasn't used again. Oh, yes. Yeah. You had a function with a definition that included x as a parameter. That parameter was used in the function definition, but can use any variable name when you're actually using the function. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm still very, what is it? I realize a lot of these, it's using a lot of variables. A lot of this stuff can be interchanged or named whatever, as long as it's consistent. The code will compile, but still being, I guess, so early on in my mind or new, I keep fixating on the exact things. I want X to match up with X, or like I'm comparing it especially to the examples they give, and then I'll look for that over here in the actual code, and it's causing issues. And then Python will run through the function you define, replacing all the X in the functions with the value of whatever variable you called it. Yeah. That's the bit that I'm struggling with, is the creating the new variables, or the proper association of variables. All right, so back down to instructions. Change list function, blah, add 3 to the item at index 1 of the list. Index 1 is here. So it will be n1 plus 3. Don't mind me. n1 plus 3. No, n1 equals n1 plus 3. And I need to move the code above the print, obviously, but hold the phone. Store the result back in index 1. Return the list. Copy. Actually, we're gonna cut. Oh god, that didn't do what we wanted. Redo, undo, undo, space. Cut that out. An x1. No. Z. We're gonna add it here. That might be wrong. It probably needs to look more like this, but that's okay. Damn. Alright, don't mind me. I'm gonna run through your stuff once more. Just because I feel like it's helpful. Notice that you made a function input first to S, that was like 2 sections ago. Did the math function, that was like fn 2 plus 5, that was a different one. You need to define a function, the parameters in its signature are abstract, like in math. You can say fn equals n times n divided by 2, and then define a variable a equals 10. If you do fa, knows that you mean 10 times 10 divided by 2 equals 50. Yeah. Okay. You're just a bit confused that x wasn't used again. Okay, I think this bit applies to now, because I think I'm just focusing on the right thing. You had a function with a definition that included x as a parameter, so that parameter was used in the function definition. But you can use any variable name when you're actually calling using the function. And then Python will run through the function you define, replacing all the x in the function value. King Kyle, hey, how you doing? Howdy. All right. What were you doing, Narsel? Oh, yes. And then Python will run through the function you define, replacing all the x in the function with the value of whatever variable you called. Okay. Return 3 instead of 0, 6. We're so close, yet so far away. Let's delete you. That doesn't feel right, but we're gonna run it. Damn. What language is this? This is Python. Learning Python. Struggling here and there, of course, but it's coming along. I started learning it like a week ago. I think it's been about a week now. You're close to getting, I think, but you're having the same kind of misunderstanding with all... Exactly, Narsel. See? Yeah, you know what's going on. Confusion. The epitome of confused. At least it's the same consistent problem, right? There's a busted wheel somewhere, and it's the same wheel. At least it's not a different bit of confusion every time. I know that's an incredibly positive outlook on such a negative thing, but, to each his own. Okay. Let's see. Don't mind me. Issues. Either... will be there. Cool. Okay. Back to Twitch. Cell phone's blowing up. Alright, what are we doing? Oh, nice. I was tempted to learn Python, but I chose C# instead. I'm currently in high school learning Java. I'm going to take AP Computer Programming next year. Tons of fun. Yeah, I wish I started learning programming in high school. That would have been the wise choice. Instead, I did Spanish. I mean, that's not terrible, but I definitely should have chose something else to do as well. Because I didn't do any programming. So now it's just learning in free time, hobby stuff. Okay. Arsel. You're close to getting it, I think, but you're having the same kind of misunderstanding with all these exercises. Alright, we're right there. We are on the edge. We'll close out of this noise. Change list function. Add 3 to the item at index 1 of the list. Store the result back into index 1. Return the list. Return. N. That looks ugly, but that makes me feel slightly better. In your first attempt at this exercise, you had the function taking x as the parameter, then doing something with n, and then doing something related to x. Yes, yes. In your first attempt, you had the function taking x as a parameter, and doing something with n, and then returning something to x. So now I need to get this. Little kitty, no. You ruin this. Hey, go over here. Come on. Look, move. Be free. Look, there's all of this area. Go get the shiny. No. Sweetness, I love you. But you're gonna have to move. Yes. You want her? There you go. That human will love you. Okay. There we go. Cat removed. Stray kittens. Why am I struggling with it? Okay, hold on. Don't mind me. BRB, of course, yes. There's no commitment here. Come and go as you please. The confusion lasts forever. So, something similar. Let's get a little bit of space. So, define double first n. That was all this noise over here, right? We had n equals blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put you, copy, right here. Now, why is there no... See, we've got to return x1. Wait. That's returning just that. Store the results back in index 1 and return the list. So we want the whole list, not just the second one. Or not just index 1 for the second item, right? So with that said, we can clear out this dude. We have our numbers list, and it's printing blah. If it doesn't print with n, then it should print with x. Oof. You know what, we'll do n. We've struggled this long, so we can deal with one more failure. Yes, that's fine, 4 of 8. Now let's try it with x. Damn. I was starting to feel confident about that for like just a brief moment, a flicker of confidence. It's probably just another state of confusion we haven't experienced before. Okay. You corrected one problem there, yes, but you're not quite getting the main abstraction. I wish you could feel how itchy my brain is. It wants to understand so bad. Okay, hold on, don't mind me. 10. Modifying an element of a list in a function. Modifying an element of a list of a function. It has one of those locks and check mark icons again. Let's see what's going down. And we'll even open this for clarification. Just to gauge. Keeps giving me the error. Double list something or other. Create a function, double list, take single argument, blah, multiply each element by 2 using the existing code as a scaffold. He threw a for loop in there. Do I need to throw in a for loop? That can't be right. A function ends the moment a return keyword is reached. If the return keyword is reached in a loop, the loop simply breaks so the function can end. Yeah, we knew that. That's the liked answer? Ah, I see. I got it. After I reread what you said a couple times. Is adding in a for loop really necessary? Is that what I'm missing? It's the function abstraction you're missing. Slightly. So, like, here, for the math thing, it has to do with, like, the code stuff. So, in the first activity, I don't know if it was just due to, like, the Codecademy environment or the fact that they're looking for certain code to be in certain places. Sometimes in the instructions, they will reference on line so-and-so, like line 3, line 3, put your code, or replace blah on line 3. So, like, here, in the first section, I originally had, oh god, this equals that. This, they said, was correct. But I had first put this, which they said was wrong. Now, if that were a math problem, these are both equal. But because it's a coding, program language, like the way it's reading it or compiling it, one clearly returns the wrong results versus one returned the correct results, for exchanging, swapping out and updating the list. But I did that first because I read their instructions and I was like, conceptually, if it were a math problem, this checks out. But it's that programming, dynamic. It's blending the two that makes it's that confusion. And I'm just struggling with it. You can't do it the way you originally tried. You're correct that it's one significant between. Yeah, and it's that little edge, that right there. And I know it's such a simple thing. It's just, and as far as the programming aspect goes, like, just keep this in mind, but it's still getting there that I'm just kind of struggling with. But it's all right. It's all right. If making mistakes is how you learn, then I'm hopeful I will have a shockingly deep understanding of this, because I have been making mistakes left and right over the last 49 days like no other. So yeah. That's that. But continuing on, hopefully. We were right there. We were looking at something. So they had the for loop. Let me check this. Now they're using X. I just completed this exercise. The console says 3, 11, and 7, which is apparently correct. I just don't understand why 11 is the correct answer. I modified index 1, which was a 5, to add 3 to the value. 5 plus 3 is not 11. I don't get why 11 is correct. Could someone clarify that for me? So this was their code. X. Now, interesting, they're doing X plus 1, or X1 plus 3. Maybe that's my issue. Which makes more sense. Like, this makes sense for here, but their instructions they were talking about were saying to modify 5. Like, it's these things that are confusing me. It's because the value x1 is equal to itself times 2, and then add 3 to it. I run your code and it gives me 8. Either way, their code was right. So we're going to just change that to x, although, yeah, x. We were right. We did correct the x1 issue. They had x1. which would only print the second item of the list. Now we will be doing x2, x3, change the list function. You should really try to understand why this solution is right compared to yours. Yeah, that's... I mean, it still says this is off. I think that's because this was supposed to be n originally. So, yeah, no. It was the last mistake was I had removed, or I had changed list function n in the last line here to list function x, because I don't know, it was just, yeah. So let me see why though. Yeah, you should really try to. That was another thing I was going to mention as I was digging through reading all the stuff in my rantings, trying to compare and understand. Even though I'll get sections correct, I don't understand, like I don't see why, so then I try and read through them again to figure it out. So in this, we've got define list function x. See, that's the other thing. They don't show. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it's because it's the function. Like list function. Okay. I think that's the difference. Here we're creating a function. Like if we were to just play make believe and I were to do f z what is it? I don't know, fz where z plus z equals z squared, right? Actually, that's not true at all. But hold on. I'm trying to find the words to describe it. This is the function. This is just the set of instructions. Here's what actually is getting processed through. This bit, list function, is this part. N is the actual information. It's the separation between the two. Yes, it's the set of instructions. That's what's going on. I keep, like, forgetting that. I'm getting closer and slowly getting better. But that's that. You made a mistake. Yeah, I typed that before you fixed it. Ah, my bad. In my opinion, Codecademy is not particularly good at explaining why or how. Mostly just what. Yes, I went on a ranting like 2 days ago about why I was so confused. Like, it doesn't help. Their instructions are just so confusing at times. Because especially like the little anecdote they do, and then their instruction section in the lower part, and then their hints, all three mention different things. Like there's not this flow, and even from different sections, like this was section 10, I'm going to hit next. Section 11 now, new section, will have like an entirely different feel or different set. It's been kind of brutal. So it's definitely made the learning curve probably harder than it needs to be. But once I tackle Codecademy, I just want to get through sort of the basics, because they do kind of just, I guess, get the what out of the way, if you will. But I want to try, what's the other one? Free Code Camp. I know that's another good one. I don't know if Khan Academy has expanded their coding classes that they offer, and I know there's a bunch of other free resources, but I think Free Code Camp is probably the next place I'm going to take a crack at. Takes n, finds out that n is 357, and then goes through the instructions, replacing x with the n stuff. Yeah, that's exactly the bit that I was confused with. So the function is merely a list of instructions, and then when faced with this bit, the print, it's whatever actual inputs will be used in said function. So, with that said, from the top, section 11, list manipulation in functions. You can also append or delete items of a list inside a function just as if you were manipulating the list outside of a function. My list 123, my list.append 4, print my list 1234. The example above is just a reminder of how to append items in a list. Define a function called listExtender that has one parameter list. No, not even. LST. See, like that? That's another thing. I can't tell, because there's also a lot of typos in their instructions. I can never tell if this is actually correct. I don't know if what they're telling me is the truth or not, basically, because their instructions are so shoddy, which really highlights the difficulty of trying to learn through Codecademy. Some, obviously, most sections are okay, but some can be pretty interesting. Alright, define a function called listExtender with one parameter, LST. Add your function here. Define list LST colon, can't forget our friend the colon. Inside the function, append the number 9 to list. So our list is n dot append, and we're adding 9 to LST. Return the modified list. Generally, it doesn't matter what you name your parameters as long as you use them correctly in the function definition. Agreed, and that totally makes sense. The only other dynamic or issue here is that, again, it's kind of a Codecademy thing. It would probably be different if I were learning at Free Code Camp or something else. A lot of the times, I feel like they've got specific stuff, like we need to use that exact variable, or the code needs to be on that line. Another one of those wildcard factors of choosing to go through the Codecademy experience. Fortunately, I'm just doing the free version still, not the paid, but that's just another thing that I kind of noticed. Because I have tried to get, we'll call it clever, creative with their instructions sometimes, and some of them work, but some of them, and that's the thing, is it's not consistent. Some are more flexible in whatever variables I throw in, as long as the code compiles, then good, but some of them are very rigid in these variables need to be used to get these values. And of course, it depends on the actual activity, but that's that. Okay, so we defined our function. ListExtender has one parameter, LST, has the colon. Inside the function, append the number 9 to LST. So, wait. No, append the number 9 to LST. LST, append 9, ListExtender, n. Return the modified list. I think I need to type return somewhere. Damn, I didn't return. I just wanted to see. Return. N? No, return LST. N is what we'll be putting in. This is exactly what we were talking about. Okay. These are just instructions. These don't correlate with this. Simply a set of instructions. Return not n, but lst, I think. Maybe. Holy shit. Did you see that, Narsal? I listened to you and the instructions, but mostly you, and it worked. We thought of it as I thought of it as a list with your helpful guidance, and I didn't set the city on fire. Eh? Pretty cool? No? A little cool. Okay. That's fun. It's hard not to smile. Okay. Now try replacing all LST with banana or something. Yeah, okay. Living dangerously. I see what you're saying. No survivors, right? Banana. Wow, that escalated really quickly from bananas to no survivors. Banana. Okay. 2 banana. Yeah, I think that seems okay. Oh god, close that. Ah, ta-da! It worked. You're right. Bananas for everyone. Little kitty, come get a banana. No? She's gone? She's gone. Don't worry. She'll get her banana later. Awesome. Section 11 down. Seems like you're getting Narsal. It's all thanks to you. The instruction dichotomy. That's what we really needed to fixate on. That's what I've been struggling with for the last, we'll call it week in Python hell. Printing out a list item. What now? No, that's not the right flow. Printing out a list item by item in a function. Okay. This exercise is to go over how to utilize every element in a list in a function. You can use the existing code to complete the exercise and see how running this operation inside a function isn't much different than running this operation outside of a function. Don't worry about the range function quite yet. We'll explain it later in this section. Instructions. 1. Define a function called printList that has one argument called x. Inside that function, print out each element one by one using the existing code as a scaffold. Gotcha. Good. Then call your function with the argument n. We're going to throw each of those pieces in, and we'll get there. Usually you wouldn't want to call it banana in real code since that would be confusing. Yes, noted. We'll minimize the use of bananas in production in legitimate code. Personal bananas only. Okay. You can simply place the code on lines 3 through 4 inside a function definition. Make sure to indent properly, and you'll have to change n to x. Basically seems like they told us exactly what to do in their hint. 3 through 4, they already have. So we've got n, 3, 5, 7, 4i in range, 0, the length of n, which is 0, the first item, index 1, or index 0, whatever you want to call it, which is the first item, for the length of it, to the end of it. Okay. Define a function called printList. You can simply place the code on lines 3 through 4 inside a function definition. Oh, gotcha. Okay, hold on. It was the delivery. We can place the codes on line 3 and 4 inside a function definition, which means on line 2, we just do define function printList, copy. One argument x, colon. Inside that function, print out each element one by one using the existing code, which we have. Then call your function with the argument n. which we will do. Their hint, you can simply place codes on blah, blah, blah. Make sure to indent properly, and you'll have to change n to x. So let's space 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we can back that up, or maybe print there and then change n's to x's. That seems generally okay. Hopefully we're not missing anything too much. Did you create a function called printlist? No, maybe. Did I totally screw the pooch? For I in range. Oh, scaffolding. We need to change this bit. Okay. For crap. Didn't actually call the function. Oh, as in print, this bit. Print list. Damn. No. I thought we were getting closer. I almost felt comfortable for a second. We're losing confidence. We're taking on water. This is bad. Nice. Okay. Okay. So we have, don't mind me, hold on. Piecing this together. Back to chat. You only you didn't actually call the function, you only defined it. You gave Python the list of instructions and named it print list, but you never said Python do the instructions in print list with this variable as input. Okay, hold on. Normally, I've got it spaced. Don't mind me, before I do anything more. I'm just gonna go through, define, their scaffolding is confusing me, and me merging it together. I'm sure it's better than what I'll come up with, but I just need to type them out bit by bit. Define a function called printlist with one argument. Define print list x colon. There's that indent. Inside that function, print out each element one by one using the existing code. Okay, so for that, we're going to for something, which they're calling x, in range, which they said don't worry about, which is blank through, we'll actually borrow theirs, blank through blank, copy, print x I, and hold on, use the existing code in the scaffolding, then call your function with the argument n. So to call a function, I have to, defining a function is like registering a set of instructions for use later. So now to call the function, I have to do something with n, which would be, I know I should just go back to the last section. but I want it to be print list n. Call your function. But how do I call? So like that is the function, or the instruction list is print list, and the variables I'll be using is n, but something goes in front, like print or no print. And now I don't know which one to keep, whether to keep theirs or to keep mine. Calling a function just means using it. Okay. We'll use theirs. I'm going to change this to n. Copy. Delete. Damn. Maybe I should have just stuck with my own. You're already printing inside of the function instead of returning, so you don't need printing. Oh, okay. All right, so let's get rid of that noise. Hold the phone. Wait a second. Wait a second. Copy. I need to hit reset code. Define print. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. N's go to X's. X. X. Print list N. Fire away. Oh, wow. I don't know why when I'm just... I think I overthink it, because just then I was just trying to correct the code and do with it. I think I'm clinging to each one too much, and like, I can feel my soul grinding its gears as I'm trying to process this. Because I just hammered that out in a couple seconds after hitting reset code. I don't know why it just clicked then. One you wrote by yourself was also correct. Yes, good, good. Don't mind me. Alright, kosher, we're back. Fun fact, let me go back to here, the one you wrote also, but you messed with the scaffolding in your first try. Yes, yeah, I was trying to make it work with theirs. The fusing of the scaffolding was struggling with that. Okay, we're gonna take a peek at section 13. This goes all the way until section 18 or so. Narsal, you've been awesome. Thank you for all of your assistance and support. However, I've kind of lost track of time, and I actually need to run out the door and head out of here pretty damn quickly. So instead of being able to finish this bit today, I'm going to have to finish the rest of this for tomorrow, which will be day 50. But seriously though, in the meantime, thank you for all of your support, because you've basically been here the entire stream today and keeping me on course. So that was a huge help. But I do need to head out of here and rendezvous with others, which is a shame, but there's food involved at said event. But good times. So we close out of this, close out of that. Again, you rock. See you around. Tomorrow, day 50, and 315 more days to follow after that. Good times. Good times. Let's power down. Alright, we are out of here. OBS, stopping the stream. You sure? Kill it.